Yes, so shall we begin now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, see, we started with banking final accounts. I hope you all remember. We started with its meaning, what is banking company, important provisions for Banking Regulation Act 1949. And I told you, we'll do a format of final accounts little, later on, because I wanted to complete all these, points that are associated with this final accounts. So you will have to wait for the format. Before we start with the format, I want to teach you with, one more thing. And that is rebate on bill discounting. Okay. And the other concept which is pending here is non-performing assets. Okay. So, yes. So let's quickly begin with non-performing assets because we have done this in EMFS in semester 1. So I know you do not remember this now. So let me, give a brief explanation about this as well. Okay. So non-performing assets. What are non-performing assets? Those assets which does not yield any income on the due date. On the date, on time, the bank does not yield any income from that particular asset. Now, what is the biggest asset for bank? Can somebody tell me? What is the biggest asset for bank? Yes. सबसे बड़ी एसेट क्या होती है बैंक के लिए?
Loan.
Very good. Loan dena, loan given. So when bank gives a loan, it becomes the biggest asset for a bank, right? Now, because bank is giving you a loan, it is, see, bank earns interest from that particular loan, right? When bank earns interest from that particular loan, that becomes your income. Correct? Am I right? That particular interest. Suppose if you are a bank, I come to you asking for 5 lakh rupees loan. So when I'm taking loan from you, that is bank, what bank will do? Bank will give me loan, but they will charge interest on that particular loan. So suppose 5 lakhs into 6% loan or 6% interest. So what is 5 lakhs ka 6%? 30,000. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that particular 30,000 is interest for, see, this is interest payment from my side, but bank will earn that interest, no? So it becomes income for bank. Now that particular income, when I'm talking about the loan, I'm not talking about loan, I'm talking about the interest on loan. So that interest on loan given becomes income for bank. And when that particular interest and the part payment of that principal amount is not received by the bank on time, it becomes non-performing assets. So slowly and gradually you will keep checking, bank will keep checking that, suppose 3 months have passed, 2 months have passed. So when can you say that a particular asset has stopped generating its income? Asset means what is the biggest asset for bank? When bank gives you a loan, that becomes the biggest asset for bank. So out of that asset, no income is generated, or you can say the income is stopped generating from that particular income asset. Okay, now stop means ceases. It is written, see, an asset including a leased asset becomes non-performing assets when it ceases to generate the income for the bank. Such an asset, when it ceases to generate, ceases means stops. When it stops to generate the income for bank, that particular asset is known as non-performing asset. So when can you say which type of asset has become non-performing assets? Let's see. Term loan, normal term loan. When you say normal term loan, the interest or installment payment remains overdue. That means you have not paid interest and installments for more than 90 days. For what is 90 days? Can you tell me how many months?
3 months.
Very good. So when you say 3 months, that means 3 months have passed and you have not paid any amount of interest or installment payments to the bank. So bank has been waiting from 3 months, since 3 months. And if you're not paying for more than 3 months, then that particular term loan will become non-performing asset. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, overdraft and cash credit. Now, what do you mean by overdraft and cash credit? I hope you understand what is OD, overdraft. The loan, short-term loan, which is given only to businessman who has opened current account in our bank. Okay, so suppose I have a bank, and you are a businessman, you are coming in my bank, opening current account, and you are a big businessman. So if you want short-term loans, you can take it from bank in the name of bank overdraft. So that is overdraft. And what is CC? CC means CC is cash credit. It is also a type of loan which is given short-term loan. It is also a type of short-term loan which is given to businessman, to entrepreneurs, to small entrepreneurs, so that they can run their business smoothly, because they want cash every day, no? So suppose if there is a shortage of cash in your business, then what will you do? You will not shut down the business for 2 3 days until the cash comes. No, what will you do? You will arrange the cash from the bank for short term, like for 1 month, for 2 months, for 3 months, and so on. So that particular, out of order means the limit that has been taken, sanctioned limit is given for you to withdraw from your account. Suppose 20,000 OD is given. So suppose 20,000 is withdrawn from that particular account. So that outstanding balance remains continuously in access. Now you do not pay that 20,000 to bank on time. That outstanding balance which you have withdrawn, that 20,000 rupees, you are not paying them on time. That has been outstanding and outstanding, for continuous period of time. That is known as out of order. So when it becomes out of order, you can say it is non-performing asset. Got it? And what about CC? CC also 90 days. Bank will wait for 90 days to check whether you are paying their money or not. And if you are not paying for 90 days, bank will say, yes, it has been converted into non-performing asset. Bills purchased and discounted. So when we will say this particular bill that bank has purchased from the businessman is overdue, when can bank say it is overdue? For more than 90 days. If it crosses for more than 90 days, suppose bank is going to the customer and customer is not paying to the bank, and such many days are passed, 90 days are passed, and still customer is not paying to the bank. So bank will wait for 90 days, but then after 90 days, bank will declare that particular bill that has been purchased by bank as non-performing assets. Are you guys understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Please let me know if you're not comfortable, then I will, speak in like thoda Hindi and thoda English. समझ आ रहा है सबको clearly?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Short-term duration crop loans. Now what happens here? Principal or interest thereon remains overdue for one crop season. What is one crop season? Those crops which comes only once in a year, in its particular season. Now suppose say winter season. So only those crops will come which grows in winter season. Okay, so bank will wait for that particular one crop season. Another crop season will come, no? Next year. So bank will wait for that particular one crop season. And if you're not paying principal and interest thereon, so bank will convert that particular asset, I mean that particular loan, into non-performing assets. So bank will say that, yes, it can become a bad debt. Customer may not pay me the money. So it becomes a loss for bank, right? Non-performing asset means what? It is not an asset for bank. It becomes loss. Now take an example of that Nirav Modi. Yes. So initially when he was not paying the money, bank did not directly convert that particular loan into non-performing asset. What actually bank did? What actually bank did? Bank used to call that particular customer, Nirav Modi, each and every day and every month. But when bank realized that he had ran away, yes, so now it has been converted into non-performing assets. So after 90 days, bank waited for 90 days, but then the particular that customer, then that particular person, Nirav Modi, when he did not pay for 90 days, so bank started converting that particular asset into non-performing assets. But yes, they kept trying, calling the customer and warning them that they need to pay their money on time. है ना? ऐसे सीधा तो नहीं कन्वर्ट कर दिया था नॉन परफॉर्मिंग एसेट्स में डायरेक्टली. Am I right? Yes or no? So gradually, no, bank keeps assessing the income gradually. कि उसमें से कितनी इनकम जनरेट हो सकती है एंड कितनी इनकम जनरेट नहीं हो रही है. Right? So that is the duty of bank. That is the responsibility to keep assessing that income. Assessing means checking. To keep looking at that particular income, whether it is being generated on time or not. So if it is not, then bank will wait for 90 days. Keep warning the customer for 90 days. But then even after 90 days, if the customer is not paying, then it will be converted into non-performing. But then in fact, let me tell you one thing. In fact, after a particular asset is converted into non-performing asset, the bank still keeps trying. The bank still keeps trying, so that maybe the customer pays on time, maybe after 90 days. So bank keeps trying and calling the customer. Okay. Next is short duration crop loan. Short means the crops that can be grown in any season. So maybe after 4 months, this crop can be grown again. Maybe after 6 months, the crop can be grown again. So short-term duration crop loan is given to the farmers. So if they are not able to pay, okay, on time, so that becomes overdue. So bank will wait for how many months? For one crop season. Short-term duration is one crop season. Okay. Next is we have derivative transactions. Derivative transactions are like they have to keep looking at their market value. So if market value goes up, or you can say keeps overdue, the market value is more than the outstanding amount which is transacted with you or with the customer. So it is overdue by 90 days. Same, 90 days is common in everything. Can you see 90 days everywhere? So 90 days is very important for non-performing asset. Bank will wait for maximum 3 months, and then bank will declare that particular asset as non-performing asset. Same with securitization transactions. If bank is helping you with securitizations, giving you services with regards to buying and selling shares and looking after to your portfolio and managing all the affairs of your securities. So again, if the amount of the liquidity facilities remains are overdue for more than 90 days. So suppose if you have incurred losses, so bank is giving you that particular amount of loan, that particular amount of services in securitization transactions. So for that, if bank is giving you loan to transact in securities, to buy and sell the securities, and if you're not paying bank for more than 90 days, bank will wait for 90 days. But if it is overdue by 90 days, then bank will convert this particular asset into non-performing asset. Okay. Now, ये तो हमने समझ लिया what type of assets and how much time period bank will wait for a particular asset to convert them into non-performing asset. That we have understood. Now, the meaning is also clear. Now, what is non-performing asset? But then if you come to a conclusion that yes, a particular asset is, converted into non-performing asset, then there are, four types of non-performing assets. When can you say this asset has converted into non-performing assets? 90 days. You will wait for 90 days. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Yes,
if it is,
ma'am.
yes. Now, if it is converted into non-performing assets, what will happen? First step, first type will become substandard asset. What is substandard asset? Let me clear it out. An asset which has remained a non-performing asset for a period of less than or equal to 12 months. Let me explain in my own words. Suppose if you have declared after 90 days, 90 days have crossed. Now you have declared that particular asset has become non-performing asset. Now that particular non-performing asset will be converted into substandard asset when from the date when it was converted from non-performing assets to the date till the 12 months from that. Suppose non-performing asset, 1st January 2020, you declared a particular asset as non-performing asset. Now, non-performing asset, it has been into non-performing asset. Still now, अभी तक कोई income generate नहीं हो रही है. No income is being generated. Still now. अभी तक no income is generated. So what happens here? Bank will still wait for 12 months, another 12 months, 31st December 2020. So 1 year has been, that particular asset has been into non-performing asset. More equals to 12 months or maybe less than that. So 11 months, you can say 12 months, you can say 10 months. In the October, in the November, in the month of December. So you can say that particular asset is substandard asset. Why? Because it has been in the non-performing assets for period of less than or equals to 12 months. मतलब उसको 12 months हो गए या 10 और 9 months हो चुके हैं non-performing assets होकर. Are you getting my point now? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Doubtful assets. Now, what are doubtful assets? An asset which has remained substandard for period of 12 months is called out. Now, अब substandard asset तो हो चुका था, ठीक है? अब दिसंबर 2020 तक वो substandard asset हो चुका था. अब substandard होके उसको 12 months हो गए, मतलब दिसंबर 2021. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? अब सबस्टैंडर्ड एसेट बन गया था ना वो दिसंबर 2020 तक, बट सबस्टैंडर्ड एसेट होकर भी उसको 1 ईयर हो गया, मतलब एक और साल पास ऑन हो गया, बट अभी तक इनकम जनरेट नहीं हो रही है. 1 more year has passed on, but still the bank has not generated any income. Are you getting my example? Yes or no? Quickly tell me, otherwise you will not be able to understand sums. समझ में आया? Very good. So substandard होके भी उसको 12 months हो गए, so that particular asset will be called as, अब उसको substandard नहीं बोलेंगे, we will not call it as substandard, we will call it as doubtful assets. अब बैंक को डाउट होने लगा कि इसमें से कोई इनकम जनरेट होने वाली नहीं है, डाउट होने लगा. Okay. Next, loss assets. But if you see, doubtful assets में भी partitions होते हैं. I will tell you, don't worry. Let me complete all these 3 types. There are 3 types. Last one is loss assets. When can a particular asset be called as loss asset? Loss means loss ho chuka. Loss is incurred. Now the bank is assured that no money will be received from this particular asset. Like a Nirav Modi case, He ran away, no? After he ran away, bank declared that particular asset as loss asset. मतलब बैंक का नुकसान हो चुका. Bank incurred a loss, a huge loss. Now bank has declared that they are, they are sure about that particular asset, that no income can be generated now because the customer ran away. He became bankrupt. Now customer is not in the position to pay me any money. He has become bankrupt. He has raised his hands up saying that I will not be able to pay money. Do anything what you want. So such type of asset becomes loss asset. When it will become loss asset? When internal auditor and the internal, experts, they identify the situation. They will not convert like that only with their closed eyes. No, they will identify the situation. Now they will understand, yes, customer has ran away. Only then they will declare that particular asset as loss asset. Are you getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So there were 3 types of non-performing assets: substandard, doubtful, and loss assets. Now there is a provision of non-performing assets. Can you see this provision? Provisioning norms. What are known as provisioning norms? Norms means rules and regulations. Provision means, abhi kya hota hai na, let me tell you, what happens in bank, no? देखो, जब भी बैंक कहीं जगह इन्वेस्ट करती है, अब लोन देना इज एन इन्वेस्टमेंट फॉर बैंक. When bank gives a loan, so that becomes investment for bank. No, why it becomes investment? Because bank is going to receive that particular amount of loan in the future from the customer together with the amount of interest. So that is investment for bank. No, so you see, we are one individual. I am one individual. I am investing in Reliance company, buying some amount of shares. Can you tell me, buying any amount of shares is attracting risk or not? कुछ risk attract होता है उसमें?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, any type of investment you do attracts at least some portion of the risk in that particular investment. Take any amount of investment, take any company, even if it is established company, well-known company, the goodwill is good, still the risk is attached. So bank also, when they give loan, there is a risk attached, whether the customer will pay on time or not. So there is a risk attached. So what, see, if there is a risk attached in the particular investment, so bank is providing in their books that maybe in the future, if the customer will not be able to pay, maybe means perhaps, like shayad agar customer nahi pay kar paya to maybe he will not be able to pay in the future. Then what? Then company bank kya karti hai? Banking company, they keep provision, they keep showing that particular risk which is attached to that particular investment, to that particular loan, to that particular asset in their books of accounts every year. So that particular recording that particular transaction, that maybe that risk which is attached to that particular asset can be converted into bad debts, which is known as RDD, reserve for bad debts. I'm showing every year, I'm showing maybe the customer will not be able to pay me in the future date. So what will happen? It can be converted into bad debts, no? So जब bad debts convert नहीं हुए हैं, तब तो हम उसको RDD बोलते हैं ना, reserve for bad debts बोलते हैं ना. Yes or no? The day reserves and reserve for doubtful debts are actually not paid by customer, it can be converted into bad debts. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So till, I mean, until there are no bad debts, the bank keeps showing, their records, their risks in the form of reserve for bad debts in their books of accounts. So that is known as provision. Now, how much they will show reserve for bad debts? How much? How much provision will be taken on particular asset? See, if it is substandard asset, sorry, standard asset. Standard means still it is not converted into non-performing asset. Standard means still not regarded as non-performing assets. Still not converted into non-performing asset. Non-performing and performing. Performing means the income is generating on time. Customer is paying me interest, principal payment, installment of principal payment on time. So it is known as standard asset. But still ना standard asset है, but risk तो attach है ना. Future में maybe customer नहीं pay कर सके तो, if he is not able to pay in the future date, so still the risk now he is paying on time, so it is standard asset, but it can be converted into non-performing asset, no? So the risk is still attached in that particular asset. Now see, what is the risk attached? What is the provision that bank will show in their books of accounts? If it is direct advance to agriculture and SME, direct advance means loan. Direct advance means loan to agricultural farmers and SME sector. What is SME? What is full form of SME? You have already done in financial markets. Nandini madam has taught you. So what is SME? Small and medium entrepreneurs. Yes or no? स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्रेन्योर्स होते हैं जो जिनके छोटे छोटे बिजनेस होते हैं, स्मॉल स्केल पे, मीडियम स्केल पे.
Yes, ma'am.
एंटरप्राइजेस, यू कैन से स्मॉल एंड मीडियम टर्म एंटरप्राइजेस सेक्टर्स. सो जो छोटे छोटे जिनके बिजनेस होते हैं ना, उसमें भी रिस्क अटैच होता है अगर बैंक ने उनको लोन दिया तो. What is the amount of risk attached and what is the provision that bank keeps? 0.25%. My dear students, please keep it in mind. It is not 25%. It is 0.25%. Small amount of risk, but it is there. See, if we are investing in government securities, very small amount of risk is attached, but it is there. You know, it is safer investment than any other investment, government securities. But still the risk is attached. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
तो
ma'am.
वैसे ही जब बैंक एग्रीकल्चर एंड एसएमई सेक्टर्स को लोन देती है तो रिस्क तो है पर बहुत छोटा, 0.25%. आगे इसी कमर्शियल में सेकंड होता है कमर्शियल रियल एस्टेट. इसी स्टैंडर्ड एसेट में होता है नेक्स्ट कमर्शियल रियल एस्टेट. अब जैसे बिल्डिंग्स, कॉम्प्लेक्सेस बन रहे हैं, शॉप्स बन रहे हैं, देख रहे हो आप. सो उनका जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लेने वाले होते हैं ना, वो बिजनेस जिनका होता है ना, उससे कहते हैं रियल एस्टेट. यस और नो? समझता है ना रियल एस्टेट मतलब क्या? यस और नो? बिल्डिंग्स बनाने
Yes,
का
ma'am.
या फिर घर बनाने का काम. सो इट इज रियल एस्टेट. मतलब प्रॉपर्टी, जैसे आपकी हाउस प्रॉपर्टी हो गई, लैंड हो गई, बिल्डिंग हो गई या फैक्ट्री हो गई, तो ऐसे रियल एस्टेट में जिनका कमर्शियल नेचर होता है, जो बेचने के लिए, जैसे कॉम्प्लेक्स बनाया तो मुझे बेचना है, अब लोग आ रहे हैं मेरे कॉम्प्लेक्स में, घर खरीद रहे हैं, मैंने एक बिल्डिंग बना दी और वो मैंने कमर्शियल पर्पस के लिए बेच दी, मतलब बिजनेस करने के लिए. अभी जैसे बैंड्रा कुर्ला कॉम्प्लेक्स में जाओ आप, उस एरिया में जितनी भी बिल्डिंग्स हैं आपको दिखेंगी कमर्शियल. कोई रहने नहीं जाता है वहां पे, रेसिडेंशियल एरिया नहीं है वो, कमर्शियल पर्पस के लिए बेची जाती है. वहां पे जो फ्लैट्स होते हैं तो वो ऑफिसेस में कन्वर्ट किए जाते हैं. आ रहा है समझ में?
Yes, ma'am.
तो कमर्शियल रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर को अगर बैंक ने लोन दिया तो उसमें 1% का प्रोविजन किया जाता है. प्रोविजन का मतलब अभी समझ गया? बुक्स में दिखा ना कि इतना रिस्क अटैच है इसके ऊपर, और मैं पहले से ही समझ के ले रही हूँ कि 1% नुकसान हो सकता है, मे बी फ्यूचर में हो सकता है. सो काइंड ऑफ प्रोविजन मतलब रिजर्व करके रखना, पहले से ही सोच के रखना, पहले से ही बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स पे उसकी जगह बना के रखना ये नुकसान की. नेक्स्ट, एडवांसेस टू कमर्शियल रियल एस्टेट. अब कमर्शियल रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर को 1%, लेकिन अगर जो रेसिडेंशियल रियल एस्टेट है, तो मतलब रहने वाला कॉम्प्लेक्स मैंने बना दिया जहां पे लोग रहने आ सकते हैं. जो ऊपर वाला एग्जाम्पल था वो बैंड्रा कुर्ला कॉम्प्लेक्स, अभी मैंने एग्जाम्पल दिया कि कमर्शियल पर्पस के लिए आप वो पूरी बिल्डिंग को बेच रहे हैं, जहां पे ऑफिसेस बनाई जाएंगी. But if you are selling a particular house property or any other building या कॉम्प्लेक्स फॉर रेसिडेंशियल पर्पस, तो उसमें भी रिस्क अटैच है 0.75%. ऐसी किसी कमर्शियल रियल एस्टेट को मैंने एडवांस दे दिया, लोन दे दिया, तो ऐसी कंपनी का भी मुझे रिस्क बना के प्रोविजन करके रखना पड़ेगा 0.75%. अच्छा, हाउसिंग लोन्स, मैंने इंडिविजुअल पीपल को, जैसे मैंने हाउसिंग लोन लेना है, सपोज मैंने घर खरीदा है तो मैंने हाउसिंग लोन लेना है, तो क्या मैं भी, ऐसा हो सकता है मैं भी इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट ना करूं फ्यूचर में? हाँ, हो सकता है. तो बैंक का नुकसान जो होगा ना, वो बैंक पहले से ही एस्टिमेट करके रखती है, प्रोविजन करके रखती है बुक्स में, दैट इज 2%. अदर एडवांसेस 0.40%, जो इन सब में नहीं आते हैं, लेकिन बाकी बाकी के ले लो. अदर एडवांसेस जैसे एजुकेशनल लोन दे दिया बैंक ने, जैसे इंस्टीट्यूशनल लोन दे दिया, जैसे डेवलपमेंट इंडस्ट्री को डेवलप करने के लिए कोई लोन इंडस्ट्री को दे दिया, या फिर कोई और जो भी, मतलब इन चारों में जो फिट नहीं होते हैं, ए बी सी डी, इसमें फिट नहीं होते हैं. ये नंबर्स अलग गलत दिए हुए हैं, A B C देन D, इन चारों में जो फिट नहीं होता है ना, वो यहाँ आते हैं अदर एडवांसेस में. सो जो अदर एडवांसेस है, मतलब जो कोई और लोन बैंक ने दिया हुआ है किसी और को, उसमें 0.40 अटैच्ड है रिस्क, मतलब उसका प्रोविजन बैंक करके रखती है. नेक्स्ट, नॉन परफॉर्मिंग एसेट्स में अगर आ जाओ तो उसमें 3 पार्ट्स होते हैं. एक सबस्टैंडर्ड एसेट होता है, एक डाउटफुल एसेट होता है, एक लॉस एसेट होता है. यस और नो? अब इन्होंने लॉस एसेट्स को बिल्कुल अलग ट्रीट किया है. उन्होंने बोला है एक होता है स्टैंडर्ड एसेट, मतलब जिसमें से इनकम जनरेट हो रही है टाइम पे, ओके. एक होता है नॉन परफॉर्मिंग एसेट्स और एक होता है लॉस एसेट. आप लॉस एसेट्स को इसमें भी कंसिडर करोगे नॉन परफॉर्मिंग में, तो बात वही है, बिकॉज इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ नॉन परफॉर्मिंग. नो, नाउ इट इज नॉन परफॉर्मिंग. इस एसेट में से कोई इनकम परफॉर्म जनरेट नहीं हो रही है, ये एसेट अच्छे से परफॉर्म नहीं कर रहा है, ये एसेट में से मुझे नुकसान हो रहा है, इस इन्वेस्टमेंट में से मुझे नुकसान हो रहा है. सो दैट इज नॉन परफॉर्मिंग एसेट. सो व्हेन कैन यू से नॉन परफॉर्मिंग एसेट? ओवर ड्यू बाय 90 डेज. आपका 90 डेज क्रॉस हो गया, आपका नॉन परफॉर्मिंग एसेट बन गया. लेकिन नॉन परफॉर्मिंग होके भी उसको 12 मंथ्स हो गए, सो इट विल बी कॉल्ड एज सबस्टैंडर्ड एसेट. इट विल बी कॉल्ड एज सबस्टैंडर्ड एसेट. अब ध्यान से देखना, हाँ, जब हम सबस्टैंडर्ड एसेट बोलते हैं ना, हाँ, जब हम सबस्टैंडर्ड एसेट बोलते हैं ना, तो उसके भी 3 पार्ट्स होते हैं. ये दिख रहे हैं आपको 3 पार्ट्स स्टूडेंट्स?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ये
ma'am.
सब स्टैंडर्ड एसेट्स के 3 पार्ट्स हैं, ओके, ऊपर वाले. और जो नीचे वाली टेबल दिख रही है आपको, ये सिक्योर्ड अप टू 1 ईयर, 1 to 3, अबव 3, ये डाउटफुल का है. ये डाउटफुल एक्चुअली थोड़ा नीचे आना चाहिए था, यहाँ पे उनको लिखना चाहिए था, पर अलाइनमेंट की उनकी मिस्टेक हो गई थी. बट दैट्स ओके, वी विल अंडरस्टैंड इट एज दिस. सबस्टैंडर्ड ये वाला है और डाउटफुल ये वाला है. अब देखो सबस्टैंडर्ड में क्या बोलता है वो, अगर सिक्योर्ड लोन था आपका, सिक्योर्ड मतलब आपने कुछ गिरवी लिया था कस्टमर से, उनका घर, उनके पेपर्स, उनके डॉक्यूमेंट्स, उनके इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्ट्री के डॉक्यूमेंट्स, कुछ गिरवी लेकर लोन दिया था आपने, तो 15% आपको प्रोविजन करना है. स्टूडेंट्स प्लीज कीप इट इन माइंड, इट इज नॉट 0.15, इट इज 15%. थोड़ा ज्यादा क्यों, थोड़ा इंटरेस्ट ज्यादा, मतलब थोड़ा प्रोविजन ज्यादा क्यों कर रही हूं मैं स्टैंडर्ड के कंपैरिजन में? क्योंकि अब ये नॉन परफॉर्मिंग में आ चुका है, 3 मंथ से भी ज्यादा हो चुके हैं. 3 months have crossed, but still the customer has not paid me the money. So if it is, so हमारा प्रोविजन भी ज्यादा होगा, रिस्क ज्यादा हो गया ना अभी. आर यू गाइस गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Yes,
रिस्क इज
ma'am.
इंक्रीज्ड, तो मेरा प्रोविजन भी इज इंक्रीज्ड. RDD is increased up to 15%. If it is secured, अगर unsecured है थोड़ा और ज्यादा 20%. But where unsecured? For infrastructure loans. If I'm giving loan to a company who is building road, who is building, flyovers, who is making flyovers, who is making bridges, roads, dams, pools, and metro trains, जिनका काम ही यही है, अगर ऐसी कंपनी को आई हैव गिवन लोन and that particular loan is not paid for 90 days And even 90 days have crossed and it has been converted into substandard assets, and it has, it has been declared to as substandard assets. Imagine, students, how many, days, how many months that bank has been waiting for receiving income from that particular asset, but still it is not received. So, imagine that bank. So that bank will have to face that particular amount of loss. Therefore, bank will keep that record in their books of accounts in the name of provisions. So because risk has increased, time has increased, bank customers are not paying for so many months. See, time has increased. It is, days are passing by, but the customers are not paying. So risk is also increasing. Because risk is increasing, provision is also increasing. So out from 15, it has become to 20%. Now, if it is unsecured loan, any type of unsecured loan, if it is secured, 15%. If it is infrastructure loan and it is unsecured, 20%. If it is any other loan which is unsecured, 25%. Are you getting my point? Provision will be 25%. Is it clear? Substandard asset.
Yes, ma'am.
Now come to doubtful. Doubtful means substandard
Yes,
होके
ma'am.
भी 12 months हो गए. Yes, very good. So substandard होके भी 12 months हो गए, मतलब वो डाउटफुल हो गया. अब डाउटफुल में भी 3 पार्ट्स होते हैं, देखो, सॉरी 4 होते हैं, 4. ये देखो, एक्चुअली 2 होते हैं, उन्होंने 2 को 4 में डिवाइड किया है. मैं आपको 2 में सिखाती हूँ. ये देखो, पहला सिक्योर्ड, दूसरा अनसिक्योर्ड. First one is secured and second one is unsecured. But if you see, secured maybe there are 3 parts. Secured means, what do you mean by secured and unsecured? Secured means if bank is giving you loan on the basis of something. मतलब आपसे कुछ गिरवी लेकर रखा है अपने पास, कार के पेपर्स, घर के पेपर्स and all. So it is secured. No, suppose if you are not giving loan, not repaying the loan, bank will sell that particular asset and recover that amount of loan, which customer is not paying to them. So it is secured. No, bank को कहीं ना कहीं कुछ तो है ना, आपकी कोई चीज important, which can be sold in the market and bank can recover the loan amount. Yes or no? Tell me. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So that is secured. Unsecured means कुछ भी गिरवी नहीं लिया, सिर्फ लोन दे दिया. यूजुअली ऐसा होता नहीं है, बट देन कहीं कहीं होता है, जैसे एजुकेशनल लोन. ठीक है. सो सिक्योर्ड अप टू 1 ईयर. अगर अप टू 1 ईयर तक का है आपका लोन, सो 25%. नहीं, सॉरी, अप टू 1 ईयर मतलब डाउटफुल 1 ईयर तक है. डाउटफुल होके भी उसको 1 ईयर हो गया, सो रिस्क इज 25%, प्रोविजन इज 25%. डाउटफुल होके 1 ईयर क्रॉस हो गया एंड देन 3 इयर्स होने पे आए हैं, 1 to 3 इयर्स. 2 इयर्स हो गए, 2.5 इयर्स हो गए, 3 इयर्स होने पे आए हैं, सो 40%. देखो, प्रोविजन बढ़ता जा रहा है. आर यू गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? प्रोविजन बढ़ता जा रहा है. प्रोविजन इज,
Yes.
it is increasing day by day. It is increasing year by year. Because
Yes.
customer has not paid us. 3 years have passed away, but customer is not still paying any amount of money. So provision is increased. Doubtful debts are increased. 40% provision is kept by bank. Now, doubtful assets होके भी उसको 3 years से क्रॉस हो गया. 3 years से क्रॉस हो गया. अब तो बैंक को चारा ही नहीं है. There is no hope for the bank to receive any money. 3 years cross ho gaye, still the customer is not paying any amount of money. So bank will say, जाने दो, नुकसान हो गया, अब कस्टमर नहीं देगा. Like नीरव मोदी. So bank, नीरव मोदी का 100% कभी डिक्लेयर हुआ था? 100% मीन्स पूरा का पूरा पैसा डूब गया. 100% प्रोविजन, 100% रिस्क, मतलब पूरा का पूरा पैसा डूब गया. Like नीरव मोदी केस. जब न्यूज़पेपर में आ गया that नीरव मोदी ran away and the bank has lost it huge amount of money, and that money was given loan to Nirav Modi. So that particular, out of that particular loan, that particular amount was not received by the bank. Say, for example, loan was 1 crore. So 80 lakhs, 70 lakhs, 50 lakhs was not received by the bank on time. So after 3 years crossed, bank said 100% is lost. Now bank will not keep trying calling the customer because customer has ran away. He has become bankrupt. Got it? Yes or no? If it is secured. Now bank will what bank will do? Bank will try to recover the amount from the assets which were mortgaged by the customer. The assets of the customers, like जैसे नीरव मोदी का बंगलो था, घर प्रॉपर्टी जो भी था, कार थी, वो सब छोड़ के वो भागा था. घर थोड़ी लेके भागेगा. तो घर के पेपर्स किसके पास थे? बैंक के पास. क्योंकि वो सिक्योर्ड था ना, लोन सिक्योर्ड था. तो बैंक क्या कर रही थी? उसके बंगलो, उसके घर को बेचकर रिकवर किया बैंक ने. थोड़ा बहुत अमाउंट, ऑफ कोर्स थोड़ा बहुत अमाउंट बैंक ने रिकवर किया. ओके. एंड सपोज अगर डाउटफुल एसेट्स में अनसिक्योर्ड है, पहले से ही डाउटफुल हो चुका है और वो अनसिक्योर्ड भी है, मतलब कुछ भी गिरवी नहीं है, तो 100% प्रोविजन. यस और नो? पहले से ही डाउटफुल तक आ चुका है. देखो, नॉन परफॉर्मिंग में आ चुका था, 3 मंथ्स तक हमने वेट किया. उसके बाद सब स्टैंडर्ड में भी आ चुका, मतलब नॉन परफॉर्मिंग होके भी 12 महीने हो गए, मतलब सब स्टैंडर्ड भी हो गया. तो 1 ईयर 3 मंथ्स हो गए. अब 1 ईयर 3 मंथ्स के बाद और 12 महीने हो गए, मतलब 2 इयर्स 3 मंथ्स हो गए, और वो डाउटफुल में भी आ चुका है, और वो है भी अनसिक्योर्ड. कुछ मेरे पास गिरवी नहीं है. बैंक हैज नो मॉर्गेज ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर लोन that has been given to the customers. So it is 100% provision. 100% provision is shown in the books of accounts. Bank will not expect, bank has no hope to receive any amount of money from that particular loan which is unsecured and has been converted into doubtful. Are you getting my point? I'm trying my best, my dear students, to explain you clearly because इसमें sums आएंगे. So is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
पक्का? you have to remember all these percentages. sums में आएंगे ये percentages, नहीं बताएंगे. You have to remember. Okay. Now, once the bank has declared that particular asset will not generate any income because the customer has become bankrupt, so that particular asset will become loss asset. It is declared by the bank that it has been converted into loss asset. So loss asset means 100% provision. Simple. No amount is received now. No amount will be received in the future. So 100% provision. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm giving you 5 minutes. Revise all these, percentages. The provisioning norms. इसे कहा जाता है provisioning norms. MCQs में पूछते हैं. If the doubtful assets have crossed above 3 years, what is the provisioning norm? Dash. So we'll be given 4 options: 25, 40, 100, 0.40. So what is the correct answer? 100.
100.
So likewise, anything can be
100.
asked. Yes. Likewise, anything can be asked. See, if it is a substandard, I'm giving you example of a substandard in MCQ. So if it is substandard and it is infrastructure loan, which was safeguarded by the escrow accounts. So how much provision is required for such accounts? Dash.
20.
20%. 20%. So now, I'm giving you 5 minutes. Revise it. I'll come back and I will ask you. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do it. Yes. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Come on.
ma'am.
Then let me just ask you about that. So tell me if it is standard assets and if it is direct agricultural advance.
Ma'am, 0.25.
Very good.
0.25%.
Very good. Very good. 0.25 percentage. And if it is real loan given to commercial real estate for residential purpose.
Ma'am,
For
0.27. Oh, sorry, 75.
0.75. Very good. Next, if it is loan given to commercial real estate,
1, ma'am.
1%. Very good.
1%.
And if it is other advances,
Ma'am, 0.40.
very good. And if I come to
0.40.
very good. And if I come to non-performing assets and if I ask you about doubtful, so doubtful, you have two segregations, secured and unsecured. If it is unsecured, then
100.
100. Very good.
100%.
What about loss assets?
Ma'am, 100%
Very
100%.
good. Very good. And what about doubtful assets for more than 1 year?
Ma'am, 25.
ध्यान से for more than 1 year.
40%.
20.
Ma'am,
40.
40.
More than 1 year.
40%.
I'm asking you about more than 1 year means 1 to 3 years. So
Yes,
if I tell you about 2 years, it is more than 1 year. So if I ask you about 1.5 year, so it is more than 1 year, no? So if it is more than 1 year, it is going to be 40%. Okay, for up to 1 year, doubtful for
25.
1 year, 25. Very good.
25%.
Very good. Very good. Doubtful for up to 1 year, 25. Okay, if I ask you about substandard assets and loan given to infrastructural companies
Ma'am,
based on escrow accounts,
20%.
20%. Very good. And what about unsecured loans?
ma'am, 25.
Very good. And what about
25.
very good. And what about secured loans?
Ma'am, 15.
15%.
Very good. Very good. And if I ask you about doubtful assets for more than 3 years?
Ma'am, 100.
100%.
100. Okay. And doubtful assets for 2 years and 6 months?
40%.
40%.
Very good. Very good. Now it is clear. So it is 1 to 3. If the period is between 1 to 3 years, 1 to 3 years, and if it is doubtful, then 40%. So that's what I asked you just now. If it is doubtful and the period is 2 years and 6 months or 8 months. So it is going to be between 1 to 3 years. No. So it is 40%, correct. Okay. So as of now, आप ये revision फिर से करके रखिएगा. As of now, we are done with the lecture and we'll begin tomorrow with the practical questions of non-performing assets. I hope everybody is okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. So
Ma'am.
let me know if you have any doubts. अभी
Yes, ma'am.
तक जो भी किया, any doubts?
No, ma'am. No doubt.
No, sure. Okay. And thank you
No,
for your
ma'am.
beautiful wishes. Thank you very much. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Yeah.
Bye,
Oh.
ma'am.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
Bye,
Take
ma'am.
care.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye. Take
Bye,
care,
ma'am.
everybody. Bye.
ma'am.